The California coast is 1,100 miles long, but only 312 miles are accessible sandy beaches, and before 1971, only 2.5% of those 1,100 miles were armored. However, by 2018, that number has grown to almost 14%. The Southern California coast stretches from San Luis Obispo County down to San Diego County, with its beautiful sandy beaches, surf culture, and Mediterranean-like climate. And according to United States Census Bureau, as of 2019, California has a statewide population of 39.5 million people, with just about 23.8 million people living in Southern California. Out of the 58 counties in the state, San Luis Obispo, Kern, San Bernardino, Santa Barbara, Ventura, Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, San Diego, and Imperial counties are the 10 that are considered to be in Southern California. With what the beaches offer Southern California and its residents, they are facing a troubling fate that some cannot accept, whether it's economic interest outweighing science or just plain ignorance. There is no question that our beaches are disappearing. This coast is home to a great diversity of species, for which many are endemic to the region. Consequently, Southern California also has the largest number of threatened or endangered species in the state. This coast is home to a great diversity of species, for which many are endemic to the region. Consequently, Southern California also has the largest number of threatened or endangered species in the state. Coastal vegetation and terrain, like dunes and bluffs, are very important to this area, as they serve as protection for coastal infrastructure, which include both private and public properties, and provide shelter to vertebrates and invertebrates. Without the help of these dynamic features, an already flood-prone California coast becomes even more vulnerable to sea level rise. There are many factors that play into coastal erosion. The melting of glaciers and ice sheets that is causing continents to sink, and its direct relationship to average global sea level rise of 3.34 millimeters a year. The dredging of offshore sediments for building purposes, and the damming of rivers. But the most immediate and visible signs of coastal erosion are the effects that coastal armoring and development have on the rate of erosion. Coastal cities have tried to mitigate the effects of beach erosion by implementing coastal armoring in their management plans. And the Coastal Commission, which was founded to protect these coastlines and beach access, has been fighting a losing battle ever since it was founded in 1972. With so much pressure from wealthy property owners to approve coastal armoring projects, the Commission's efforts are often spread too thin. While coastal armoring is still being built at approximately a mile a year, this can be seen most prominently here in Ventura County, with over 50% of its 42 miles of coastline having been armored. So it is no question that for the last 100 years, the most common response to coastal erosion and sea level rise are hard armoring structures like seawalls. Though these generally work as intended, historically, there was no consideration or knowledge for that matter of how these structures were affecting the coastline. The rapid increase in human populations and expansions of urban neighborhood poses intense pressure on coastal ecosystems and increases the rates of beach erosion and shoreline retreat. The United States Geological Survey has conducted studies using the Coastal Storms Modeling System, or COSMOS, to portray how sea level rise is expected to increase coastal flooding in both magnitude and frequency. When the COSMOS model was applied to the Naples neighborhood of Long Beach in LA County, it was shown to be especially vulnerable to sea level rise. Larger urban cities are at higher risk due to their contribution to the 21st century megatrends. These megatrends include climate change, scarcity of energy resources, and degradation of dynamic ecosystems, and they are only worsened by the demand for continuous inputs of energy and raw materials. Traditionally, coastal dune systems have been restored to a stabilized state so as to halt natural geomorphic processes of erosion, sand drift, and dune migration. This has often involved planting non-native plants, shrubs, or trees, or by physically hardening or armoring dune features. Over the last 3 decades, however, coastal researchers and managers have recognized that efforts of dune stabilization have resulted in the loss of landform dynamics, complexity, and resilience. In turn, this has entailed notable ecological impacts such as declines in early successional floral species and corresponding loss of species richness and diversity. Scientists are working around the clock to save our coast, but it is a task that cannot be accomplished overnight. As residents of Southern California, we much advocate for the accessibility of our beaches and consider ideas like managed retreat and beach nourishment. If we do not act now, this scenery could be lost forever.